to the Real Estate Investing Minute, where real estate investing is demystified 5 minutes at a time.
I'm Judson Voss.
And I'm Allison MacArthur.
And as you guys saw today, we got our brand new intro.
We do. I worked really hard on that. Thank you.
Yeah, nice job. And Miss Allison has her haircut.
I do.
So we got
bouncy.
Best of both worlds. All
That's right. Got it all lopped off for the summer.
That's right.
Feels much better.
We got a fairly short show for you today in the studio here in probably no more than 6 minutes after we get done with this. There's a studio tear down. There's union people coming in to do stuff. And because we're getting ready to not record, but do a live session with Andy Heller tonight. 2 hours of Andy. So if you guys take that and multiply by 30, that's what my life is like. It's like 60 hours, Andy.
Get prepared.
I'm just kidding. We put up with Andy because he is the leading expert on foreclosures and lease options, and so Andy's actually a really nice guy, even though I make up stuff about him.
On everybody.
That's right. Well, most people. People that are easy targets. Everybody. Okay. Anyway, so today we're going to do a couple of Q&As and a little bit of information and move on from there, so you got enough time to watch the webinar with Andy, and we're very excited because it's going to be live and video and all that kind of stuff, so you can finally see how short Andy really is.
And you guys are actually going to do it together.
That's right.
Normally it's...
we think it's entertaining that way.
Yeah.
Maybe not educational, but entertaining.
Right. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Are you ready for your first question?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. I've been trying to learn as much as I can, self-study via the internet, about wholesaling for almost a year. I just got my first verbal acceptance on an REO property that I plan on passing on to another investor. Okay. I've included provisions in the contract with the bank to add an additional buyer. Once the title company has the investor's earnest money deposit and I have a signed assignment contract, I'll forward the assignment contract to the title company so they can send an addendum to the bank adding the investor to the contract. A few days before closing, I will have the title company send an addendum to the bank removing my name from the contract as a buyer. Would it be prudent to include the earnest money requirement in the assignment contract? That was a mouthful.
Yeah, I think that's the winner for the longest question we've ever had.
I did.
And just so you know, for whoever asked that question, I don't have the name here in front of me, you don't get 2 free home study courses for asking a question twice as long as all the other ones.
Right.
But I do want to remind you, you can go to the questions at the reiminute.com and fill out the form there. You can ask your question. We've got a couple of really cool home study courses that you can get, one of which for free. And just pick when you fill the form in. If we answer it on the air, you're going to get the course.
Free.
Yep. No entering for a contest or anything like that. You just get it.
Can't beat it.
That's right.
It's free. I don't want it.
I guess we should answer the question now. Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, first of all, and luckily I got the question written down in front of me because I would not remember the whole thing. Let's talk a little bit before we get into the details of whatever that XYZQAD transaction was you're talking about there. The first thing I saw was you've been spending the last year learning about wholesaling on the internet. And I think that's cool. I think it shows initiative, but we're a year down the road and it's just getting your first offer, and I'm glad you are, but that's a whole year you could have been doing something. So first of all, I want to say, and I don't have a course to sell you for this, but you know, if there's something you want to do in real estate investing, I highly recommend finding a course and working off it. It's going to cut a ton of time out of there. And if we look at it this way, you know, last year, and okay, the courses are not cheap or free. Right. So if you would have saved up for 6 months, we would be 6 months ahead of the game at this point in time if you save up for a course. So I still highly recommend either getting a home study course to learn about something, or just as good, find a mentor in your area that knows what they're doing, and you're going to cut a whole bunch of time off of that and get started right away instead of waiting. And by the way, just so you know, today's market and the way it is, if you wait a year to do something, you're going to lose out on probably the best 12 months of real estate investing you're going to have in the next 15 years. So I highly recommend not doing that and actually, you know, getting in there today, learn in a short period of time and get going. Now, to answer the question.
Unless you just wanted to wait.
That could be. just sort of working through it. The transaction, here's the deal. Most banks nowadays are not going to let you come in with essentially assigning a contract.
Right.
And I understand what he's saying is I'm going to go in, I'm going to put my name on it, and then I'm going to turn around and add my buyer's name. And I'm assuming the reason behind that is there isn't a buyer yet. So first of all, I'm going to tell you, if you're going to wholesale properties, have a buyer
Have
first.
a buyer first.
Yeah, or at least a few of them lined up, and one of them is going to come through. So before you sign the contract with the bank, you're going to have a buyer in place. And in that situation, then you know who's going to go on there. You don't have to put your name on it. Then later go back to the bank and say, I'm adding my partner, which is that's sort of okay. But the bank is pretty smart. If you go back to the title company later on down the road and you say to them, I'm going to take my name off and leave the second guy's name on there, they know what an assigned contract looks like, even if you don't put it on there, and it's not going to fly with them. They're going to say, why don't we just work a deal with this guy in the first place? So what I recommend, one, is working with somebody that does this on a daily basis, because, by the way, banks are changing how they do stuff every single day. Andy and I were just talking about it a couple days ago, and banks are changing what they have in their contracts every day. So I recommend working with somebody that's working in the area of bank-owned foreclosures to get all the information. Because right now, things like the banks are on a bank-owned property or even a short sale, they're adding into their contracts that, will sell you the property. It cannot be resold again for the next 90 days. Right. I know FHA is allowing mortgages to be written without 90-day seasoning, but what they're trying to do is keep you from selling it to somebody that's already willing to pay more for it, and they write that in there. So you got to be up on what's going on every day in the market. That's the first thing. The second thing is do what I do. What I recommend is you got the buyer, you go in there, and you got you and you got your partner, who's the buyer, and you write the contract for the two of you. Right. Then go through and you close the whole deal. Don't do anything different, but you have an agreement that says afterwards that the other person, this other guy, can buy you out. Right. So let's say you got a $4,000 wholesaling fee is what you want on this property. Easy enough, right? You guys go in, partners on the deal, totally partners, and you just got an agreement that says you can be bought out of your contract after it closes for X number of dollars, $4,000. So now you're getting bought out of your interest in it. He's the one that's putting the money up and everything like that. You sign over your quit claim deed, meaning you give up any rights to the property in exchange for that check for $4,000. That's what I'd say is probably the easiest way to do it. Yeah. But again, you got to study the stuff and know what's going on in the market every day. So that's the problem with doing it on the internet. If you could just do it, research everything on the internet and make a living at it, that's what people would do. That's true. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to work that way. That's a sort of long answer, but we only got 2 questions. So is it okay that I did that? It
was a long question.
Hair's looking good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I do want to say one other thing. We're talking about, policies and stuff like that. If you guys get a chance, I'm shamelessly promoting myself. I should let you do it instead, then it doesn't look so bad.
No, I like it when you promote yourself.
Okay, thanks. I'm not selling anything. Inman News, which is a big news organization that works mostly on the technology side of real estate, and their main market is realtors, but investors also. They were kind enough to feature me in a news story twice last week, actually Wednesday and Friday. One about what the Obama administration should do on the housing policies, and the other one I don't remember what it was. They asked me like 14 questions.
I was going to say, that's pretty bad. You don't even remember what
my picture was on there. That's all I paid attention to.
I thought you were worried about your picture.
Yeah, actually one was about the housing policy and how the Obama administration should handle it for recovery, and the other one is how involved should like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and those groups, FHA, be in the whole process of not so much the recovery, but the way the markets work and everything like that. So
very nice.
I was in there, and then 3 other people that know a lot more and much better answers.
3 other people that
know
who knows what they were doing in there. They should have only had you in there, right?
Right. But anyways, if you get a chance, go check it out. Not just for my answers, but everybody's. It's good information over at inmannews.com. Or actually, inman.com.
Whoops, looks like our 10 minutes of fame's up.
So if you want to see the rest of the video and you can't watch on Google and all those other places, make sure you go to the reiminute.com and watch the video there. You get to see more and more of our pretty smiling faces.
That's right. Don't miss out.